family, we basically will probably avoid it as long as possible.
In Sweden, it's very much a very indirect culture.
And then it comes to some sort of tension and we'll fight, but then at the end we sit down and just have like a heart-to-heart conversation.
Passive aggressiveness is like the golden standard.
Well, about like social issues, like big ones like abortion or same-sex marriage, we don't really talk about that.
Difficult conversations are a very rare thing back home.
When let's say someone is doing something they're not supposed to or not expected to, that conversation will usually be initiated by someone who is older.
I can't imagine myself having these kind of conversations with people other than my age fellows.
And then this kind of respect and hierarchy affects that who initiates this conversation.
Adults are supposed to have these conversations, but not like younger ones like us. And
in my family, it has always been the case that we tried to go around topics that were hard but not critical.
You have to be comfortable in the silence, or bring up a topic that will evade the question.
This compares actually very funnily to German culture, where people just go for it.
Like about people not talking about social problems. I think that maybe it's because like Vietnam is a developing country and there's a lot of poverty there.
It stems from, you know, just like decades and millennia of conditioning.
I could say that our country still has the trauma of the Second World War and everything that happened afterwards.
Part of it is my family's background, like my parents, you know, they kind of grew up in families where you just don't talk about it at all.
That kind of suppressed guilt and dread is still in the society.
And they're trying to move away from that, and so it's still like this transitionary generation.
There's a big difference between like what I aspire to do when I approach difficult conversations and what I actually do.
I must express whatever I believe or feel like, but at the same time not hurt other people's feelings.
I'm trying to like be more sort of like direct and not be passive aggressive.
If something is really bothering me and I can say maybe I'm not comfortable bringing it out, silence is also an option.
I try to be as gentle as possible, and I really started off by saying I love you, but we need to have this conversation.
I try to not only put myself in the other people's shoes, but also to show them that I am doing this.
I don't like when there's this sense of a shield and inauthenticity.
It's really annoying when people totally disregard that. Like they don't even consider it as an issue.
Especially like using you statements. I don't like it when you do this, or like you are such a piece of whatever.
I'd rather have a conversation with someone that's difficult where, you know, maybe sometimes it gets worse, but eventually it gets better.
And when people like start being honest, like revealing their insecurity with me, I start revealing my own insecurity with them.
We're going to put you guys together and have you guys act out how you would approach difficult conversation in like a scenario we're about to give you. So the scenario is that one of you is the messy roommate and one of you is the neat roommate. Also, and the messy roommate hasn't been cleaning up after themselves, and the neat roommate is like has this like really pent up feeling and like they just need their space to be clean.
I've been like pretty busy lately, and you know, like when I come back to our room, I feel like sometimes I can't really relax. And I think partly that's because I feel like I can't really feel at home in the room. And I think part of the reason for that is that sometimes it's a little messy.
It's like instinctive to first get offended, even though his approach is like pretty good one. He was like, I think this is happening. He was not just like, oh, you piece of shit, like what are you doing?
Do you feel like our room is clean? Like what do you have to say about that?
Other than being direct, what I said, just being very respectful and not being like, oh, like you are making this mess for me, I cannot live this anymore, but being like, this is not okay for me, so I just want it, like, I want to see like what you think about it first, not like going full on like being aggressive.
I think I have a dust allergy, and we have not been, or like us, we have not been cleaning up really well. I've been trying to keep my space kind of like more clean and less dusty because I know like I'm prone to this allergy.
Margot was really polite about it. I would appreciate that he's at least like showing his concerns, which means that he trusts in me in a way. He thinks that I will understand, so I would find it really pretty alright to like talk about this. Maybe like being a human, I might get slightly offended, but like because in my perspective, I don't think I'm that like I'm not unorganized or disorganized. I think it's fine. Like I mean, like look at the room; it's pretty clean. You have a bed and like you can sleep in it. Why does it matter that you have like everything organized?
Yeah.
You shouldn't leave your clothes everywhere all over the room because like half of it is mine. I know that you have your corner and I do have my own corner. But the thing is like when I walk into the room, my half looks appealing to me, normal to me, and your half looks like a mess. And it's not a great environment for me to be in.
I like it because that points out to the problem that we need to solve. So I'm very like problem solving like oriented. So I just like the way that people directly ask me the questions.
Like we have the roommate agreement, right? So like the dishes, like the mold and like the fridge. So I felt like he was oblivious to what I was asking him to do. I didn't mind that. It's okay, right? But I think the dust is becoming like a real problem for me because...
Alright, since it's your health that we were talking about, I'll try to be more careful next time.
I'm very fine with you being very tidy, but like I'm an untidy person, I know that, but the thing is I'm very busy and just not my style.
But she was like very stubborn.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. Like I'm not like the most organized person.
Right. We know that, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean it's not something that will change overnight though.
Roger's response was really, like I said, mature, and it was like very just sort of calm.
Like firstly, my clothes are clean, they're not dirty, and they're not gonna attract any kind of insights into the room. And secondly, we don't have guests, and I do clean my room and at least my car like twice a week.
I'm not gonna deal with this. Like I'm gonna seek authority or something.
It would be a good idea to, I don't know, like apply some design thinking on like, for example, I know that when I wake up and like I'm gonna get on a different shirt, I put it like close to here, and maybe we organize even the room in such a way that it's easier for us to keep it tidy.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's a really good idea.
I can help you. Like I understand that you may not have like as much expertise, so we can buy the sponge and like the clean liquid, and I can teach you how to do it.
Alright, that sounds alright, but yeah, I'll be more careful. I'm sorry. I also think that her offer to help me out rather than just telling me to do this is really the key. That you need to offer some sort of incentive to someone, and then from there on, go with it.
I'm glad we could talk about it.
Usually, at this point, I would get too frustrated and then stop talking.
Oh, thank you.
We don't have to expect perfection when it comes to having a difficult conversation.
As a community, we certainly have a long way to go.
Minervans have what it takes to have those conversations respectfully and in a fruitful manner.
I really respect people that are able to take that first step and do something.
I love you guys.
Thanks.